April 5th, 2020, 11 p.m. as I'm shooting this video, quarantine due to coronavirus. Dear beloved subscriber, dear beloved stranger, whoever you may be watching this video, I hope you and your entire family is safe from this virus. Today morning, Donald Trump gives a speech at the White House saying that the next upcoming week could be quite painful for America. There will be a lot of deaths. The Pentagon has prepared about 100,000 body bags in the expectancy of the deaths that could occur in the upcoming days. America now is the most affected country with around 340,000 reported cases as I'm shooting this video and close to 10,000 people who have died from this virus. They are pretty much pissed off with China, and Donald Trump has gone to the extreme of calling this virus as the Chinese virus because it comes from China. They have their reasons to be mad at China. So in today's video, we are going to see how much America has been affected by this virus and why do they hold China responsible for this. And it is not just the Americans, a lot of other countries are also holding China responsible for this and even calling this virus as Chinese virus, which is very offensive for the Chinese people as they feel it is very discriminatory and more like a racial comment. So we are going to see why do they hold China responsible for this. Was there really a mistake on China's part? Was China really responsible? Are they responsible for the outbreak of this massive virus which put the whole world into a lockdown? So without any further ado, let's dive into the video. As I previously mentioned, America now is the #1 country with the most number of reported cases. The death toll is around 10,000. A lot of hospitals are being built in America in order to facilitate treatment for the number of patients that are incoming. The situation is quite uncontrollable. The economy of the country is also taking a hit. Almost 6.65 million people have filed for unemployment, and it is the largest upsurge in unemployment that the country has ever faced. A lot of foreigners who come and work in America are also finding themselves in a very difficult situation as companies are now shutting down and a lot of people are getting unemployed. In fact, it has gone to the extreme where even the companies that are functioning right now are asking their employees to save up some money as they might lose their jobs anytime, as their company could get shut down anytime. And that will also affect the other businesses because when people save up their money, they will not spend it much, thus depriving other small scale businesses and other sources of income for the country. And even the future doesn't look very good for America in terms of economics. And that is the level of impact that the virus has created in America. And not the entire country is shut down as of today. Almost 75% of the country is shut down, and the remaining 25 are still debating whether a shutdown is required or not. So it seems like they pretty much have their reasons to be mad at China. They are accusing them of two major things. One is not revealing the actual numbers, the number of people who have been affected in China by this virus and the actual death toll. And number two, they hold China responsible for the outbreak of this virus. It was due to China's irresponsibility and their eating habits that has caused the whole world to go into a lockdown. Now let us see the truthfulness of these two accusations that are kept against China by America. And it's not just America, a lot of Western media are accusing China of causing this worldwide pandemic. In fact, a member of parliament from Australia has passed a comment saying that China owes compensation to the rest of the world for being responsible for this massive outbreak of virus. So the first accusation against China, where they are not releasing the actual number of affected and death tolls, are kept by United States. Donald Trump himself passed a comment on that, and also by the Western media. They raised this question that how the rest of the world, countries like America, Italy and Spain, are more affected than China, the birthplace of this virus. Numerous number of questions have been raised. In China, a particular Chinese mobile SIM card company has lost about 20 million subscribers. 20 million subscribers between the month of January and March. When questions were raised against the Chinese government, they answered it by saying that the SIM cards belong to migrant workers who had traveled to particular provinces in China from different other provinces, and they would have cancelled off their subscriptions. Still, 20 million is a staggering number, and there is not a right response from China. And number two question they keep against them is the number of crematoriums used by China. It is believed that 8 crematoriums were used for the disposal of the bodies people who died due to this virus. The only problem was the crematoriums almost sent off thousands and thousands of urns in trucks, urns which contain the ashes of dead bodies. And when these crematoriums were approached and questioned about the number of urns which were sent out in number of trucks, they said that the information is quite confidential and they are not authorized to share any information to media or news or anyone of that nature. If you want any further questions, please contact our government. This was the response, and there was nothing else given by them. Now this caused a lot of people to raise their eyebrows. And in China's defense, they say the only reason all these countries which are more affected than China right now are going through the phase that they are going through is because of their carelessness. The only reason why we kept this under control was because we took some strict measures and took this situation seriously, whereas these other countries were not responsible. That is the reason why they are not able to believe the numbers which are produced by us. This is what was said in China's defense, but still the West is not ready to believe. I would like to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. Now that the Chinese have uplifted their ban on their wet markets, a lot of people are annoyed by this, fearing that this might cause the second wave of virus, and accusations after accusations are lined up against China, not just the two that I mentioned. Numerous number of accusations are kept. A lot of people state that China did their level best to hide the outbreak of coronavirus with the rest of the world. In fact, the first coronavirus case was registered on December in China, but flights were continuing to come in and go out of China till January second week. A lot of people traveled to different parts of the world, and this was the main reason why the entire world is suffering the way it is right now. Without alerting the rest of the world, they tried their best to hide this news. And there was also a famous case where a doctor who first spoke about this virus was placed under arrest. It is a whole video by itself. That story is completely off the scripts of a Bond movie, on which I'd like to make a separate video if you'd want me to. Now there are also a lot of people who claim that the Chinese are doing all of this deliberately for their economic well-being, on which I have made a separate video. I'll give the link of the video above, and I'll also mention it below. Now, what do you think? Do you think that calling this virus as the Chinese virus is not a racial comment or discriminatory, as this virus comes from China? Do you think that this pandemic is due to the irresponsibility of China, or do you think that the Chinese have nothing to do with all of this and they are as innocent as the rest of the world is? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section. Engage with me. Also suggest me what more videos and what type of videos you would like to see from this channel. And until I see you again, take care, stay home and stay safe.
I'ma take it.